Check out our preview of April's White Dwarf.
Spiky bits.
Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer, and today we are checking out the new White Dwarf for April 2018. We've seen a lot of this already, of course. People got theirs early, and then there was, I don't know, bank holiday, Easter, and all sorts of things. So they've kind of been steadily coming out, all the bits and pieces that really seem to matter. We've pretty much seen already. So chances are, if you've seen some posts on the internet or pictures or something like that, you've probably seen everything that, at least for most people that just cursorily kind of pick up the White Dwarf and look at it, would want to see, to be quite honest. There isn't a whole lot of features in here that we're normally used to. There's no paint splatter, there's no Blanchitsu. There is a battle report. There's the 4 warlords. There's a new section in here that gives you some ideas on some Shadespire decks, which I thought was pretty cool. So a little bit of bonus content there that we're not normally used to. As far as previews go, there really isn't a whole lot on the new Deepkin. Just, hey, the rules are coming, and here's the data cards and such. All the stuff that we've already seen for the most part. Now, there is some extra rules in here on fielding Chaos Cultist in Necromunda, as well as some Lord of the Rings / Hobbit content. I guess it's called Hobbit now, from Forge World. So if you're into either of those games on the, I guess I'll call it the specialist side. I don't think that's actually what it's called anymore. I think it's all run through Forge World these days. But if you're interested in that content, well, there's plenty in here, and there's definitely some background on both the Deepkin and the Dark Eldar. But with the Dark Eldar, the Drukai being out this weekend, I guess right about the same time as this White Dwarf's hitting, kind of is moot. But either way, if you're into getting a White Dwarf and that's just your thing, then this is a great issue for you. But for, like I said, I think for most people that would normally just kind of pick this up just for the paint articles and things like that, it might be a pass this issue for you, just because there really isn't a whole lot in here. It's just, I just want to say, I don't want to say it's like bad. It's just because there is content in here. So if you're, you know, a diehard hobbyist and you really end up reading up on all the fluff and everything, that's great. But it just doesn't stand out like, oh, there's this, and oh, there's that, and oh, there's this, and everything. And I'm sure a lot of work goes into actually making the White Dwarf for the folks that do it, and I can totally appreciate that. So let's just run it down real quick. There's some backstory in here on the Necrons and the Admech and kind of what's happening with the whole like Blackstone stuff, and Forgebane is actually the centerpiece of the battle report, all the stuff in there. So that's kind of cool to see. Like I said, there are some new rules in here for the Middle-earth strategy battle game, I guess is what it's called, and the Chaos Cult gangs themselves. And then there's the whole section on a couple of deck ideas and going over a few things on Shadespire, which I thought was pretty cool. Chaos Cultists, which are also featured right here. The Deepkin backdrop, and the 4 warlords and the Drukai. So like I said, pretty much the things that I noted are worth seeing in here is pretty much all that they have highlighted in the front as well, it looks like. So a preview on Forgebane and design notes and things, and then it goes into some on the Armiger and all that. All the previews and stuff we've already seen at this point. We know about the Shadespire. We've seen these cards already, and they're looking pretty fresh. And I like how, if you're into Shadespire, these guys just hitting now flip and become inspired, and the Farstriders not being in their side of the board flip and become inspired. So a little bit easier to inspire those guys, which is probably where it's at. And then we've seen this page ad nauseum at this point. I think we saw a French version a couple of weeks ago, talking about some releases from Forge World that are already out there that we already knew about. And let's see what else is in here. We've got the video game section, all the licensed stuff. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on that, of course. If you're into the video game stuff, you probably already know what's happening on that front. And then it goes into the Deepkin backgrounds and things, where it's talking about, like, you know, the Aquaman himself, the High King of the Idothan, or Idoneth. We'll go with the Idoneth. And then it talks about Slaanesh and how Slaanesh has found them, that the Eidolons are kind of like all the dead souls, and that, you know, Nagash is like, oh, you got dead souls. Oh, well, you had my curiosity. Now you have my attention. So there's a little bit of setting up, you know, maybe future or current conflicts with all of them and everything. And then it goes into the battle report itself, which of course features the AdMech with some knights against the Necrons. The eternal struggle there, the robots. Didn't really look... Oh, this is the four warlords, so they're going over to Daughters of Cain, Nurgle, Beastclaw Raiders, and it looks like the Flesh Tearers. Not the Flesh Tearers. Flesh... What do they call the... No, I don't even know. The vampire guys. Not the Magickin. Oh, I guess this Legion's in the gash. Oh, well, there you go. And what else was in here that was worth checking out? It's not going to be a very long video. There isn't a whole lot to touch on. The Underworld's tournament. Oh, they kind of go over some decks in here. Matt Hudson, of course, I think is one of the guys that writes this. Then you've got some other Steelheart Champion deck, a Sepulchre Guard, Subchurl Guard, and that's it. Okay. Then there's all the rules and the Cast Cultist stuff. We've already saw that. Well, we saw that preview. There's some of the new rules for them, readers models, and oh, let's see if there's any normal Space Marines. I always like to look to see if they're still featuring normal Space Marines, just out of pure personal curiosity. So it seems like if you want to get featured in this, send in some not. Yep, all Primaris. Love it. Oh my goodness. Okay, well that's it. That's the whole White Dwarf. I don't know. I mean, like I said, if you're a diehard and you always pick this thing up, it's great. It's got some cool features in there. If you're checking out Shadespire 1 or the background on the new Age of Sigmar faction, figure out a little bit more of the Dark Eldar. If you haven't been able to catch some of the live streams from G-Dub, then there's a really great 3 pages of you know, kind of breakdown and overview on each of, from, you know, kind of like the covens to the actual cults to the, like, you know, Urian Raykarth and all his dudes. So kind of how they all differ and kind of work together at the same time. The 3 named characters that are in it. There's a lot of content on Dark Eldar, so if you need a review on that, they got you covered in here too. But overall, you know, not a lot of hobby content. No Blanchett Sue. I don't even know. It's I'm sure next month they're gearing up for lots of cool stuff when the Deepkin drop for real, and they have all those great how to paint guides on you know, all the new standout, the flying turtles and the you know, seahorse knights and all that sort of thing. But for now, this is where we're at, and I don't know. Maybe there's better things to spend your hobby dollars on this month. But overall, it's not a bad issue by any means. It's just maybe, you know, they can't all be rock stars, I guess. I don't know. I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go do some other stuff, and that's it for this one. If you like these sort of reviews, fair and unbiased reviews, I guess, on the new White Dwarf, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on these posts.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. Thelongwar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.